welcome to RPG Reanimators. It's a live actual play of Kingdoms. This is session 2, untitled
Three?
at the time of recording. 3 chronologically, but session 0, we're doing classic computer
Oh,
programming where we start
gotcha.
at 0, the correct way to count. So, last time that we played, the 4 rulers of their various kingdoms were gathered together in the city, ruled by the Pig King Grozer. And he informed you that, in fact, the land of Tord, the king there was abdicating his throne. And that could potentially be valuable. You knew that Tord at one point was a flourishing kingdom. Of course, with the dark sort of tone of this, it is no longer. Everything's horrible and marble flats and salt all over the place. Upon arriving there, the king talked down to you, I'd say, quite a bit. He seemed very uh, interested in eating people. That seemed to be a vibe that he was bringing to the world, and eventually, basically, noped out of life as he was uninterested in dealing with the lot of you. He really only would have dealt with Yuna, which none of you are. After his death, he had released from its cage one of these smiler beasts, which the 4 of you handled pretty handily. Ulrich throwing, was it Ulrich? No, I believe Valthros threw Grozar to them, but then Ulrich protected him.
Hmm.
Then the during the fight, Marceline did pick up a blood metal blade to use. The others kind of just went ham on this beast and killed it pretty quickly before it could really sink its teeth into anybody. Valthros, however, landed the killing blow and ascended to God King status, hearing a strange voice in his mind talking about him becoming this. He essentially goes Super Saiyan. The others are caught in his sort of wake there, and he gets the light power, which I believe you have a little cheat sheet for that's going to let you kind of make up an effect to modify your body. Light will let you, uh, you know, become super cool for a little bit. Marceline got a ring from the body of Craig, the ruler of Tord. Imrafel took the body home with him and let the beetles chomp on through. And then we went to a kingdom gathering phase in which, let's see what we did. Valthros, I believe you made a really crazy corpse stone citadel in which the lead arc or the head architect killed himself on the top to become part of his creation. The Imrafel, you built up your navy there along with your monument of the circular bit, I'm assuming to your god, and kind of made a little bit out of Craig, the saint sort of thing. I'm thinking a reliquary of some kind. Um, and also performed a miracle for the local people, so that's pretty rad. The in Let's see what's next. In Laval, a academy had been started, mirrored by an academy in Zelaros. Although one seems to focus more on building, and then Laval's is more artistic in its way. So at the moment, the fight between the two kingdoms seems to be mostly style in this case.
The
And
best kind of fight.
yes, it's yes, it's all about the vibes there.
Mhm.
And Ulrich, let me see. What did you do, Ulrich? Have my notes beautifully there. I believe you also marshaled up some forces on the edges and made a political marriage between the
Yes,
head
I forced the
stonesmith,
marriage.
yes, of Valthros and a logistics expert, I believe Marith
Yes.
from your kingdom.
Hmm.
So that's what happened years ago. You all have progressed a life step in this time. So I want to do a quick, just kind of tone setting starting event for each of you, starting with Valthros. So, Valthros, where you have your citadel here, what does your throne room look like here?
Ooh, so again, a lot of black, just all black, like everything. Punctuated maybe only by the color of no, it's black. Like there's a lot of black spikes and stuff like that. A lot of stone, a lot of shit like that. And then the throne is like on this massive fuck you dais, like with all these stairs. And the throne itself is like made from we'll say the bones of my enemies have all been stitched together into this giant, like spiky bone throne. So it's pretty great and it's super comfortable, you guys. Um, but basically, I sit there bored and sad all day and I contemplate in my melancholy just the futility of existence. That's it. Yeah. Uh, so I'm just sitting there like chilling, and then advisors come to me with their pithy, meaningless tasks, and I like wave the thing. Like none of these people can just bring it all together. Like I'm trying to build a great empire here, and they're
Yeah.
all like, "But we need food and shelter." And
Mhm.
terrible. I hate them.
Yeah. Let them eat rocks, perhaps.
Yeah, toughens you up from the inside out, eating the rocks. Um,
And it is during one of these discussions, there is one of your low bloods there asking basically that one of the buildings be used as a warehouse for food, right?
mhm,
They don't really have a place to store it, and the college is more involved with maybe places of worship or just places of function beyond something as mundane as that.
okay.
When you start you're sitting on this throne, and in the back of the room you're just hearing like a little kind of whisper from the back corner.
Hmm. Okay. Do I? So is the whisper where the let them they want the warehouse coming from, or is that people talking like about
That
me?
yeah, they're talking at you, and it's almost like a little
Hmm.
buzz, and you can just hear underneath them this whisper from the back of the room.
I getcha. Getcha. Well, I'm gonna stop. Like I'm gonna be like and stop all the noise, and I'm gonna turn in my bone throne, which is a swivel bone throne. No, it's not. I'm gonna turn and see who's whispering, and I'll see if I can ascertain who it was that's whispering in this moment.
You turn to look back, you silence the room, it falls quiet, and there's nothing, like it's just the back wall there. The spikes protrude, and some of this corpse stone is set into it as a little sort of like little statues almost, where
Mhm.
they're flat against the wall, the slate sort of look there. It seems like it's coming from this back wall.
Hmm. Um, I will rise and take my bone and stone hammer and walk towards that corpse stone wall,
Mhm. And
like I'm listening intently.
the rest of the throne room is quiet, and they're just watching you go. No one seems to be reacting to this. And you approach, you are able to hone in, and there's a section of the wall of this corpse stone there, so human sized, about 6 feet by 6 feet, that you can just barely see the anguished face beneath the stone, and you can hear this faint whispering. It's annoying because the closer you get does not make it more distinct.
Yeah, wonderful. Um, I'll look over at the guy who was like, "But we need a warehouse for food." I'll be like, "Come to me."
And this person looks around at the other, like your assistants there, and they're just kind of shooing them along, and he walks up, sweating, just very worried about this. Yes, my lord.
Do you hear the whispers from the stone? Do you
Um,
hear the whispering from the stone? Answer me.
no, no, my lord. I'm afraid I don't. Uh, doesn't speak the same way to you as it does to me, I suppose.
What do you see in the stone? Tell me.
Uh, and he looks into it. Uh, just a follower of Ulrich, uh, one of the disgusting people that cursed in such a fashion.
You dare to speak of a lord in such a way?
No, the people, my lord, not him himself.
I get my bone club and I use it to lift the guy's like chin up
Uh,
with the end of it so he's looking right at me. I'm like, speak again of one of your betters in this manner, and it will be you in this wall forever. I'll ensure that Lord Ulrich imprisons your soul in this very citadel. Do you hear me?
please, mercy, my lord, mercy.
Mercy is for the weak. Leave now.
Uh, you do you like let him down with it, and
Oh, yeah, 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 sure. I'm
uh,
just lifting his chin. I'm not like holding him in the air.
yeah,
Although that
he
would be pretty bad.
he scamper like full on runs out of this hole. You think he's gonna go change his pants real quick, but the whispering does not stop this whole time.
Do you hear it? Do you hear it? Does anyone hear the whispers?
They're all looking at themselves like, what do we say? And the unspoken consensus seems to be no, no, my lord.
Perhaps it's time. Perhaps this body grows old once again. Perhaps back into my tomb I shall go and let the civilization flourish.
Mm. And you're saying that, and for the first time in years, you're feeling tired, and that boost you got from this creature is less. You can feel that emptiness now. And we'll cut away as you're musing about this in the wall behind you. You can just barely see this screaming face whispering. And we'll cut down to the valley below this into Laval. There are, let's see, so Marceline,
Mhm.
that ring you got, it took a while to figure out exactly what this does, but you found that by concentrating, you can get a kind of empathetic understanding of what the low bloods are feeling. So, not quite mind reading, but roughly that sort of sensation.
Okay.
And what what's your role with the academy?
Um, I consider myself more almost like a patron of it. Like I will visit and kind of enjoy the art that's being created there, but I'm also a pretty harsh critic, so yeah. If it's garbage, it gets thrown out. But yeah, I'm not like actively teaching. I'm just more like taking it in and enjoying the creations.
Excellent. Well, it's during one of these times, and to kind of remind people, like, your followers are mimicking you at this point of
Hmm.
drinking their own blood. They don't
Hmm.
have quite the constitution
Regenerative.
that
Yeah.
you do. Yeah.
Yeah.
So all of your followers are kind of anemic looking, especially
Right.
the most resilient. So it is kind of known that a lot of the academic folks there will fall unconscious with while they're painting just low blood.
Hmm.
Um, and they're showing you some art this time, and it is rather pedantic
Mm.
and not up to your standards. But they're also very concerned. Is there like there's something they're not speaking about as they're showing you this art? Like there's not enough for the number of students there.
Okay. And I like to think now I think last session I created an heir like
Hmm, hmm.
as my way. So I have my successor Genevieve is with me. And we have a lot of uh I think philosophical differences on ruling kingdoms. She's much more in the like the bloodthirsty, like why, we should conquer. These people are being
Hmm.
made to be conquered and doesn't appreciate the art as much as so I'm like dragging her out. Like, no, we must appreciate the arts. But so you said there's not enough paintings to account for the people basically, or like there's kind of an unspoken air of something unsaid,
Yeah,
basically. I'll
right,
turn
right.
to maybe the instructor and you
Yes.
um what's going on here?
Um, we've seen that some of these artworks are not up to your standards, my lords.
Well, yes, I can see that. These are very banal, but there's something you're not telling me. And I'm like much taller than these people,
Hmm.
right? So now I'm
Yeah.
kind of like looming. Like there's something you're not telling me.
Um, well, uh, one of our students has been producing certain works that we don't find match the good taste of Laval. Um, we're terribly sorry, but that is we have kept those from this
But
particular.
well, hold on now. Renaissances are a thing. The creation of new and interesting and different is not always something to be hidden away. This, whatever this is, I don't want this. This is peasantry. What bring forward whatever this new thing is someone's working on. I want to see.
There's a sort of look around each other and get Mikkel, get him tell him to bring his work forward. And again, you see this look of like, well, it's not going to be our head as a younger student walks in. And I believe that Imrafel, you had sent your heir
Yes,
to
for a time.
Laval
Yeah.
at this point. Yeah.
Hmm.
You notice that there is a young man and a small gathering of other students that come in, eh, also including this horrific child of Imrafil. Imrafil, like, do they look like, do their deformities, do they wear them proudly? Do they hide them? What's that look like
Oh
for them?
no, they somewhat hide them under basically a mass, like a robe that sort of covers up their hideous
Hmm.
form.
And
Wonderful.
it's a female, right? Yes.
Yes.
I guess, young
Excellent.
mistress. How are you this fine day?
And she bows. but there's a sort of disrespect
Mm-hmm.
involved there. Like they're all young, maybe they're all feeling that, and she is fairly quiet as it is a wonderful day in Laval, as it always is, isn't it, Marceline?
Of course. Of course. And, uh, have you been creating some new pieces of art here?
Yes, uh, but it's a bit more counterculture than what you might be used to.
Well, let's see it. Let's see it. I can appreciate new movement in art.
Mhm. And this young man who brought this painting forward seems to be the leader of them, Mikael, and he pulls back this picture, and it is very clearly a picture of you just preying upon the land. Like you're larger than life. You
Hmm.
seem to be draining the color out of Laval. It's definitely a sort of revolutionary sort of feel to it.
Does it feel like subversive of my leadership, or like how do I feel about it?
Um, yes, I would say it seems like he's accusing you through the art of draining
Right.
the beauty out of Laval.
Mm,
And he's like looking up at you with just disdain.
mm. I'll consider it for a moment and say, not your best work. The use of or the lack of color really just doesn't bring much life forward. I think perhaps it's time for you to return to your lands. We'll make arrangements. I'll contact your father.
There's yeah, among the group there's a sort of disagreement, and she says, "What if I wish to stay?
You
Bring something to
stay,
this land."
you stay by my leave.
Fine. I shall go, but and she's looking over at this young man, and she is, but there will be no reprisal. Or rather, Mikhail should come with us
And
as we
who's
leave.
Mikkel? I guess he
He's
was the
he's like
artist
the main
himself.
artist. Yeah, yeah. No, he should come with us.
We'll arrange for your travel and then we'll make decisions at that point as to who should go with you. I think honestly, I'm probably going to have him killed
I like it. All right. You
later, and
yeah.
quietly, not as a big show.
All right. We will cut from there with these students storming out of here, leaving this painting just kind of sitting on the floor. Genevieve inspecting it closely, and cut over to Imrafel proper. Imrafel, how's progress going on this
Good.
this
I should I like describe what my deity is?
yeah, absolutely.
All right, so my deity is Venetrix, the who takes most commonly in our representational art the form of a gear where each tooth, there are 9 teeth, and each tooth is like a spear point with a head attached to it,
Ooh.
who form the original collective. And in the lore, the uh, the god that we worship, which is called the true God,
Hmm, hmm.
asked 9 apostles to sacrifice their bodies so they could become sort of his embodiment on earth. And that created Venetrix, which is this gear god with a torso and then the 9 tooth gear.
Absolutely. That's metal as hell. I love it. What's Venetrix's domains or domain in
Venet
this case?
well, Venetrix was banished to the ocean by
Mhm.
some unknown force, Satan, our version of Satan or whatever,
Yep, yep.
trapped him under the ocean to diminish his magic. But he's not an ocean god, but he lives in the ocean,
Okay.
or they live in the ocean.
Yeah. The heads of all of these. Excellent. And what's the tenant slash taboo that those who follow Venetrix have to follow?
Well, I guess the tenet would be no heresy, and
Hmm.
all other gods are not the true God. Um, and I think the taboo is that um, only you cannot like touch the water of the ocean unless you're of a certain caste of people. So you have to be like of a higher caste to touch the water of the ocean.
Ooh, I like that a lot. It's going to be interesting if you ever have sailors for that.
Yeah,
If you fall overboard and you're
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 low cast,
you're
that's it.
yeah, you're done.
I like that a lot.
Stay there.
Yep.
And and Venetrix also in our belief system sometimes sends strange inscrutable machinery to be washed up on the ocean that can be picked up by devout believers, but sometimes it does
Mm.
horrible things to them, obviously.
Absolutely. I like that a lot. So, yep, make sure you gain 2 favor with your new god, Venetrix. And so, yeah, so with that, is Venetrix being displayed in this kind of central thing you're working on?
Yeah, definitely. I think there's a big sort of statue of sort of the gear that turns slowly in the center of our temple to reveal the head of every single apostle.
Oh, I like that. The what's the look on the faces? Are they like all for this? Are they screaming in agony? What are we talking here?
Oh, I mean, they're not smiling.
Okay. Yep, yep. That checks out. All right. It is one of the perhaps holy days that Imrafel is overseeing this construction when there is a hubbub amongst the kind of the upper caste, the clergy, and you see one of them just runs up to you. Uh, sorry, Angel, there is a true miracle has happened today. The body that you brought back from Tord, it is it is sprouting.
I shall have to inspect this.
And when you look at this, what did you put this in? Like, what's the kind of environment that this body has been placed in?
I'm just picturing like if you're familiar with like Buddhist self-mummification,
Yep. Yep.
like I'm picturing like he's in sort of a on a in a like an annex and he's sitting there in a calm position, just covered with bugs that are nesting inside of him.
Yeah. Yeah. These like there's always this faint clicking from within him as the beetles are rolling around in there. But you see that the head, the skin is pulled back around the mouth, and growing out of the mouth there is a small stalk and a rose-like flower that is faintly glowing in this annex, and there's almost like a small pulse to it.
I'm going to demand that everybody in the room begin to bow down if they are not already.
I think that's probably a safe. They're pretty used to this. You demand worship, and they understand.
And I will tentatively approach the plant.
Hmm. And there is a. The closer you get, you actually are hearing this small dump 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 from it, and it is giving off this little glow, like the torches around the area are almost they're necessary, but you would see this in the dark.
Hmm. Of course, the 9 apostles were revived. Perhaps the same could be true of you, Craig. I,
He's
yeah, I'm
never coming
gonna.
back. Not a chance, not with a name like that. But yeah, sorry, Imberfell, yes, what do you do?
I guess just in my religious ecstasy, I'm gonna have to just touch with the tip of my finger the flower.
Hmm. And you touch it, you can feel a sort of warmth from it. And as you're touching it, you hear this deep voice within your head saying, "You grow weak. Seek out the monster, servant of the dark. Slay it. Return and ascend."
And I will then bow down and say, "Yes, my lord. Thank you. It's rare that I hear your voice."
I like it. And we'll cut from there as you're bowing, and there's this light going off amongst the room to Ulrich, the very last one of our crew to have a scene. Ulrich, how's life going? Your populace is being used for building material. What sort of like you've been marshaling forces though? What is your land changing like?
Ooh, okay. Good question. I think I was doing rulership instead of marshaling.
Oh, I could absolutely have mixed that up.
No problem. But I have min-maxed my work area for the maximum amount of efficiency and pain. So it's
Hmm.
just an office cubicle with an off the supervisor's office looking over it,
Very
where I
nice.
can see all the logistics happening and my workers. And we have weekly meetings, especially on Friday mornings.
Absolutely cruel. Cruel. So you're running this kingdom very efficiently here. Like you're supervising all of this, and you see that Marith comes up to you from one morning. She's kind of got like a an abacus with her, we'll say, because you guys, I don't know if you yet have developed reading and writing, so I don't think we're quite there yet.
That's all in here.
Yeah, it's exactly, it's all in there, and she walks in and I'm sorry, Lord, but I'm seeing a problem
What's the
with
issue?
our strictly speaking, it is a matter of numbers as far as I can tell. We're running out of people. Um, your closest people are those who have been gifted with your slate form. But Valthros has been demanding so much building material that we are unable to replenish, if you understand.
Right. Then I suppose we shall expand outward and recruit more workers.
Of course. And how do you pass along this curse of the slate skin?
Um, it's very insidious, so they integrate into the society.
Mhm.
But once they truly feel like they belong, that's when they change.
And then how does that spread out from them? Is it like a disease or is it like by touch? How's that go?
It's definitely a disease.
Mhm. Um, I suppose in that case, where do you intend to recruit more people from?
Uh,
We've gathered a little bit in the nearby settlements, but we didn't wish to cause too much of a stir.
mm. So just laying out the map on my
Yeah, yeah.
table, on the conference table. I think it might be time to call in a favor from the person I helped save, and I believe his name was
Oh, Grozar.
Rosar.
Yeah.
I think I'll take a third of his population.
Mhm.
If
All right. So you are setting into basically you're going. Let's say you go there to discuss this because you know simply sending a message probably would not, he
yeah.
could ignore that, but he can't ignore you. And you do see Grozar there. He's looking older now. Any little bits of hair he had are completely gone. So he looks like a smooth pig. He's grown even more rotund in his stature, and it looks like his hand that you crushed with your crystalline form uh did not heal well. It does in fact look like it's just kind of stunted and curled up on itself. Ulrich, it's good to see you again. I I've heard rumblings that well, I'm sure I misheard. Um did you said a third of my population.
Yes. Pay back what was owed.
Um your people of course are welcome in Australia, but there I perhaps we could attempt something with the livestock instead if we are looking for supplies. I don't know if you've ever deigned to bless the animals here. He's gesturing towards these basically albino pigs that are just roaming around the city.
No, that would just damage the quality of the brand.
Yes, uh yes, I suppose we could come up with a third then. It
A
seems only
third,
fair.
and we're even.
Yes, yes, wonderful.
And you will be released from this contractual agreement.
Excellent. I will absolutely make note. And he gestures towards some of the people around him of that. And well,
They will live good lives.
do you
It's
want
just that
to?
our
Yes. Do you want
uh
to take them? Will they go live with
forcibly,
you?
I'm going to be a little smart about this and be like, whoever wants to come first
Okay.
and foremost will be treated better.
All right. In that case, there is a sort of messaging goes up around the city, like whispers are, this is going to take days there. And it does seem like there are very few people that would intentionally do this. It seems like this disease is kind of looked at with um not necessarily disdain, but concern. Like, does it feel painful to change this way? Like, what's it feel like to change to slate?
Probably like arthritis.
Mm, I like that, like a dull pain, and people are not super inclined. And eventually, Grozar does have to forcibly choose people. And it seems like he's choosing
Criminal.
very specifically. Yeah, it's people that may not agree with choices he's made, maybe people that have not paid taxes, that sort of thing. You're not getting his best people, as it were.
Okay. An agreement is an agreement. So
Okay. All right. And are you taking them with you, basically? Or are you setting up something in Australia with these folks?
no, I think I'm going to just take them.
Okay.
Yeah, my kingdom could use the power expansion, the numbers, and as long as they're treated well enough and better than they were before, then they'll
Mhm.
be content.
Very good. And in that case, I think we'll return to kind of an overlay. Like all four of you now are feeling this sensation of lessening that Valthros was perhaps the first to notice, is the light is dimming within you. So, how did the four of you meet up again?
So you said we feel as though like we're basically being called once again to action.
Yeah, that's probably the immediate feeling, is like
Mm.
we should fight again to re-up this sort of power that we gained the last time. You
Is there
certainly don't want to return to what you were before. That
I have a question because I don't want to for Valthros, I don't want to like just make a declaration here. We've kind of said that we have spies in each other's kingdoms,
Oh
right?
yeah,
What if like
absolutely.
what if both of us have heard stirrings from the other's kingdom about like I heard about the whispering in your walls, your people
Mm,
heard you heard about like some kind of subversive art going on, and I think maybe we
mm.
both identified that like maybe it's time to come together once again for, for battle or something like that.
Yeah, I like that idea a lot. I actually, yeah, um, I like that a lot. Because I want to talk to you about something once we're into RP,
please.
um, but I was gonna say maybe it's almost like a calling in the blood, like after a certain point of time, like we just can't resist, like we're all four of us are just like pulled to something. Does that make sense?
Hmm. Hmm.
And so maybe even
Absolutely.
hearing that, I'm like, I'm sure Lady Marceline feels it as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Maybe that's why we're all called.
Yeah,
No,
no,
I
I
like that.
like
I
that.
like that. And then maybe the two of us, maybe like we meet anyway every couple of months, just as like a
Hmm.
whatever
Yes.
peace negotiation, kind of a
Yeah,
peaceable,
yeah,
or maybe once a year or something like that. Maybe a couple times a month. Yeah, maybe once a year we
exactly.
come together to like negotiations or something, and it's maybe that at that point we, there's kind of like the hint, the probing, like, do you feel this way too? And then yeah, it's like out
Yeah.
on the table, like it's time we need to go.
Yeah. I have like if we meet on neutral ground, I have
Yeah.
this like low blood servant and I like slit their throat into a goblet and then like offer it to you like as a peace offer.
Ah,
Something.
Valthros, always so kind of you. Thank you.
Indeed, indeed. Yes, yes. Um, but yeah, so yeah, yeah.
I will like
Okay.
gesture to like one of my finest painters, and I've commissioned this like really grand, like beautiful, huge portrait of you like
Yeah.
slaughtering enemies on like a battlefield or something like
It's
that.
that picture from Ghostbusters 2, but it's like me. It's Valthor smile. Uh, yes.
I like it.
Lady Marceline, always a pleasure. Do you feel it though? A calling in the blood, a stirring.
I do. I think it's time once again.
The darkness grows.
The darkness grows.
I have a proposition for you. May
Yes.
cement our alliance.
Yes.
I
Yes. What is it?
feel this body growing weaker by the hour. Evermore I'm more disappointed upon these low-born stock, and I like backhand some asshole.
Thank you, my
um,
lord.
great. So basically, what it's going to come down to is I'd like to produce an heir. I
Mm.
do not want to do that with a lowborn stock. Do you have like a daughter or something like in your lineage that you can like we can make some sort of familial alliance that
Mm.
way?
But you might
Yes.
already have an heir with.
Yeah, I have Genevieve here.
Yeah.
No, I'm
Yeah.
talking about with
Oh, that's right. You've made an alliance with Ulrich, right? Or
Yes.
something? Yeah.
Well,
Mm.
you sent Marith, the
Yes.
religious counselor from the Dominion of Infinity. Is she my wife?
No, she's one of your.
She's
Yeah,
like married to one of your people or
Sarah's,
she's
something.
married to
right.
Sarat the Stonesmith.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, yeah. I need to make my own heir. I need to make my own progeny to carry on my great work while I slumber.
Yes. Yeah,
This
I'm
low-born stock will never do. And I
Ooh.
like backhand another.
that is agreeable. You know my my heir Genevieve. And I think that's agreeable. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Then perhaps a royal wedding shall be planned.
Ooh.
Ooh.
That's the entire rest of this session.
Just a royal wedding.
I'm
It's a
so
wedding
here for
wedding
it.
scene. Oh,
I
it gets crashed by the monster.
And you know, I have Lord Imrafel's heir here in Laval, and I'm about to send her back home. I think it's time for her to rejoin her lands. I'll send word with her as well that I think it's time for the hunt to begin once again, and I'm sure he'll pass
Indeed.
that along to Lord Ulrich.
Indeed.
Right. I like that. I am, however, going to make it so that you have to wait for the life step before that heir is produced,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
then there's a chance it doesn't
And it
happen, and
dies.
that's
Doesn't
funny
happen.
too.
Yeah. Straight up. That's
Yeah.
fine.
No, I think that's great. Is you send off the heir. Imrafel, what's your heir's name? I don't think we've covered that.
Delilah.
Delilah, great name.
Delilah.
All right. Delilah returns with word from the kingdom of Laval. Um, she returns with a few people that you don't recognize, and including it looks like she smuggled out someone.
Was I not able to successfully have that guy killed?
I think if you want to make a roll for it,
Okay.
I'm game. Yeah, let's
What
do
would
it
you
that
like
way.
for me to roll?
Let's see. You have 3 stats, so probably one of those. Uh,
And I'm sorry,
let's
what
do
are the dice?
will. Yeah, let's do will. That's gonna be a D20. You
Okay.
want to roll under.
8. Yeah, so that is under.
Okay. In
Sorry, I
that
didn't mean to
case,
derail your thought
nope,
there.
nope, that is perfect. Mikkel is attempting to leave, and you are savvy enough
Yeah.
to get a hold of him, and you hold him back. So in that case, Imrafel, your heir arrives, and Delilah seems disturbed and angry. But she does bring news of uh this kind of meeting to gather to hunt once more.
Something seems to weigh upon your mind, my child, and in such auspicious times.
Yes, I had a friend that Marceline, I believe, has dispatched with. Uh, I think there is a weakness there that frustrates me.
You made friends in that sinful kingdom?
Uh, and there's that part. I can't imagine that you have a fun friendship with your heir. Uh,
Uh, maybe not. Yeah, maybe not.
yeah. Um, Perhaps friends was too strong a word. Um,
My dear, speak freely in the house of the
Acolytes.
Lord. Oh, and at that word, I will just be like, now you're speaking my language. Ah, you think that there's possibility that the filth can be cleansed?
Yes. Yes, I do think so. I think I've learned much in a different way of spreading my word at the academy.
Ah, my beautiful child. I'm very proud of you.
I'm just imagining like this horrible angel talking to this like veiled woman. Um but you do get this message then from that of like Marceline is gathering for a hunt. Um and that kind of ties with what you'd heard from the body of Craig.
All right, I will have to have my servants carve the symbols of protection upon me.
Oh shit.
And yeah, just my servants are just gonna carve like a ton of horrible symbols into my body, and I'll
Okay.
I'll tell Ulrich as well.
Wonderful. Uh Ulrich, I guess one of the creepy followers of Imrafil shows up.
Oh no, I'll show up in person.
Oh shit. All right.
Ah, excellent. I have a gift for you.
A gift for me. How thoughtful of
I will
you.
give you a stone fidget spinner.
Oh my, this is delightful.
Mm. Is it the same slate stone? Like, did you carve it out of corpse stone?
Yep.
There's definitely bone that you can see within this little
These
spinner then.
these cheap products could sell for a lot of money overseas
I know.
in the Dominion of Valthros.
Don't think it... I don't think they have a lot of longevity though, weirdly. All
It's
right.
Nope.
okay. We only must keep our subjects occupied.
All right.
I introduce brain rot.
Exactly.
And where do you guys meet up to begin this hunt? Last time it was Australia, but that doesn't have to be necessarily where you start this one.
Hmm.
I think we should definitely have some kind of a random element that chooses it, or some kind of contest that chooses the home field.
Mm.
Whoever
I
wins
was
gets either the frigid ice lands, that's the hunt, or the wetlands where it's going to be the hunt,
Mhm.
or the lowlands.
Yeah, I like that.
mhm.
Yeah. What kind of
Friendly
contest?
game.
Oh, is it like a gambling game? Do you have gladiators?
Or a
Like,
game
what are
of
you talking
skill.
about? Yeah.
Oh yeah, let's just have our people fight in like a mock arena.
All right. In that case,
Yeah, show your best warrior. Put them forth.
all
Not
right.
and if it's up to you if you want to do it to the death. I'm very impartial.
Yeah. If we're gonna have people fight in
All
this
right.
game, it's gonna be to the death.
All right, then it's to the death.
All right. In that case, Valthros and Ulrich, both of you roll a strength, and whoever rolls higher under their score, they're gonna be the one that gets it.
So what do we roll again? Refresh my memory.
Just strength. Yeah.
A
But like
D20.
a
Oh,
D20.
D20.
D20. Yes.
Got it.
Sorry.
Thanks. Bingo.
Ulrich, what is your strength?
14.
Oh, minus 15.
Oh, then if you'd like, you can set it
No, you
forth.
can just roll
9.
Okay.
4. Very disappointing.
Oh,
Yeah.
it. The God King is definitely getting weak.
Yep.
I feel it.
I'm not gonna say it out loud, but everyone's thinking it.
Yeah, as the head of the champion of Valthros bounces across the ground.
I
Yeah.
turn and my like chief military advisor's there, and I literally rip his head off his body.
Oh. Hooray!
Yeah.
Yay!
Ooh. Urgh.
But in that case, I believe Ulrich, where did you want to start this search?
We'll do it right here in the wetlands.
The shrublands, the
The
silent
shrublands, yes.
shrublands. Very good. All right. So, what does this hunting party look like for the four of you?
I'm just decked out in blood metal armor.
Nice.
I'm where my speed is 1 now. Just to let you know.
Very slow, very slow.
Walking tank.
Okay.
I bring no other subjects with me. It's just me.
Wow.
Because if you're a real warrior, you don't need anyone else.
I have like 30 people with me. As soon as he says that. Yeah, I mean, I have people that carry all my shit. Like, I'm not doing that myself. Fuck that. Ton of people, big train. I don't really wear armor. I kind of just have my normal like Dark Lord robes and shit on. Yeah, and I'm just abusing people left and right, like every opportunity. Imagine I'm abusing someone physically or verbally. So
I'd like to amend my statement. Like, I'm not gonna have warriors with me. I'll
Okay.
have people to process the monster after.
gotcha.
Very good. Very good.
I'll bring. Are you married yet to my heir, Valthros? If not, I might bring her along just for the experience of the hunt.
Yeah, I don't know if we've gotten married yet. Maybe
Maybe the agreements are in place
the
or something.
agreements are in place. Like whether or not she knows of this, that's
Yeah.
up to you. I don't know. But
She'll do
yeah,
as she's told.
yeah, then because next episode we got to have that wedding planning episode.
All right. Well, I'll bring Genevieve with me, and
Okay.
probably like Ulrich, some just low level people to do the dirty work of it all. But I plan to be in this fight myself.
Wonderful. And Imrafel.
I will bring my heir, my biographer, and that's it.
Like it. Nice and simple. In that case, someone roll me in. Well, Valthros, you are the God King. Go ahead and roll me a d20 as you begin to search the silent shrublands for prey.
Might need to retire this D20. It's a 7.
Okay.
That's good, right?
Okay. Oh man, I do not know how to say this word. As you are searching through the shrublands, it is quiet. Every once in a while, there is the sound of a pig squealing over the horizon that you hear. But for the most part, you're trudging through these kind of dusty plains with just sparse shrubbery around. But you do find as you're going that there are a number of green stalks that are showing up out of the ground that are surprising to you. Um, these are, I'm going to take a swing at this, obgan, obganiating scallions.
Whoa.
Yeah, exactly. Um, if you harvest these taste pretty good, but they are stalks that cause a person to repeat all actions within 1d10 seconds for 1d10 minutes. So you can basically get someone stuck in a loop with these scallions.
Hmm.
And I will paste that into the chats for folks.
I can't imagine when they were writing the Kingdoms document, like just how many red underlined squiggles were in Microsoft Word, like constantly, you know?
I'll have to look that word up. But yes, you find these foods, oh, to cause iteration by reiteration. That's a good definition. Um, yeah, you find these and maybe you actually notice the effects because one of your workers consumes them and then does like that skip back and forth where they're talking to someone and they're like, it actually tastes quite good. It actually tastes quite good. It actually, and they just get stuck doing this for 5 minutes, we'll say. Nice average number.
Fascinating.
Yes, it's quite useful in torture.
Oh, do tell, Lord Ulrich.
You simply compel someone to stab themselves and then feed them the scallions.
Hmm, wonderful.
Valthros, your followers are looking askance at Ulrich.
Ooh.
Yes, concerning, concerning. I would like who's next in line? Let's see. Roll a d20. Ulrich, since we were talking at you.
17.
17. Man, you guys are finding all kinds of delicious tasting things. Um, as you are going further, you find this um pig that has been ripped apart. It looks like it had found
Hmm.
a number of these tubers in the ground, like roots. And this one is a very deep red with black veins going through it. Um, but yeah, the whatever whatever it ate, it did not end well for it.
Would I know what this is, being a resident of this area along with Emra folk?
Yeah, I suppose you probably would. You've run across this before. This is a bit of dark root. Um, it is very good tasting. It, uh, however, opens your mind up to the dark, capital D dark in this case.
Oh,
And yes, it is known for your folks of like you don't want to eat this because you will just die. Most of the time you die. Those that survive say tastes great, but they never want to eat it again.
don't eat that.
Fair enough. In that case, Marceline, give me a D20.
13.
13. All right. And then roll me a D20.
Another D20.
Yes, please.
14.
14. You find that there is a pond that you come across here, and roll me a D6.
5.
All right. There is a this pond is big enough that you are able to camp here for the night. You are waiting, and in the middle of the I should say night's probably a weird idea here. There is no sun, so in the rest phase, um, you start to hear this screaming from the pond of just this horrible from the description. It sounds like a adult male having his toenails removed one by one. And
Ah, yes.
yes, uh, looking out into the water, you see there is like when you have a lot of fish roiling up the water and stuff. It
Mm.
seems to be coming from this kind of like these like long, thin fish sort of feel to it. They're probably about 3 feet long.
Fascinating.
I'm going to sleep like a baby listening to their calls in the evening.
I wonder if the fish themselves are palatable.
I think I'd like to procure some to put in the various aqueducts and fountains of Zelaros. A beautiful music for my people.
Um, I like that a lot. There's arguing amongst your faction of exactly how they're going to transport these things. Um, but they do end up catching some of these fish, and They are edible. Like they're kind of bland, but if you have them, they're just screaming in a bucket every once in a while.
Can I write screaming fish bucket down
Yes, they're
at my inventory?
you absolutely can. They are called screech fish. We'll put that in there. And then for the last aspect of the hunting phase, Imrafel, please roll a d20.
2.
A 2. Oh, that's perfect timing, and it saves me having to figure out something. Flip me a coin. Give me a heads or a tails, please.
Heads.
Heads. All right. That's good for you. As
Awesome.
yeah, you're about 4 or 5 days into this hunt. The fish are getting really annoying to some of you, I suspect. Um, when you see that over this small hill, there are a number of what are called ham cows. They're basically bigger versions of the pigs that you would normally see. They have much like woollier fur and really big bellies that they almost like the biggest of them drag across the ground. Um, they're not as common for people just because the males are much more aggressive, kind of like a bull situation, and they have tusks that can really make your day pretty miserable. But there is a pretty massive herd of them there. But this is when you see your prey. And I will throw a picture of what you see into the chat to kind of give you a look. There is
Oh,
this, yeah, this multi-legged long creature, and it is very quiet. You see it just going through these hills, seeking out almost like a millipede, one of these ham cows, leaving behind a trail of mucus, and then it will lift up and just smother multiple of these at a time, especially if they're like sleeping. So you were watching this. You have the drop on it at this point.
So it's massive then if it can cover more than one of these things.
Yes, it is a large creature.
does it appear to move quickly? Like, is it faster than us? Does it like run up on these things?
It's not particularly fast. It's more quiet, and it seems to be fairly intelligent in how it is going about this, right? Like it's not uh facing things head on. It's more of sneaking up, smother, and crush.
My lords and lady, I believe we have espied our prey. What know you of this beast?
Oh, actually, I might be able to glean. I have what, blood nose or something?
Oh, yeah, you do. What's that get you? I think that
See the
lets you.
stats and hit points of man or beast.
Oh, well, in that case, I will give you these stats. You will get all of these. For the listening audience, this thing is somewhat armored. It has quite a bit of hit points and is strong and really pretty smart. So that's kind of where you're concerned about it. Make a will test,
Okay.
everybody that's there.
So it's D20 and we want to get under or over our score.
Under. Yep, you want to get
Okay.
under the
So
score.
exactly on is a fail.
Let me double check. That is a great question. Your pamphlet might actually say on it. Let me double check.
Woo.
Should be right here on the thing. Check. equal is a success.
Okay, well then I have succeeded.
All right. What you would gather from this is, so who all has succeeded? Is it just Marceline? Marceline? Nope, nope. Oh, can't hear you, Rafael.
Of will for will?
Yes, Will.
So I failed then.
Okay. And Valthros, yay, nay. Okay. In that case, Marceline, you are watching this thing go. And at one point, one of these bulls, the others are perhaps discussing strategy or something. You see this crawler like starts, it has these horns that it starts to rub weirdly. And this bull that it was kind of squaring off against gets entranced in quiet, and the crawler then descends on it. So you think there's some sort of
Oh,
hypnotic
I
effect that
see.
it
I
can
see.
apply.
I think, yeah, I kind of like scent the air, like I'm a subtle sniffing. My pupils dilate really tightly, and I'll turn to the rest and say, "This creature is incredibly powerful, and we must be careful. This will be a difficult beast to fell."
There is only one power on this planet and
And
all
look
other planets.
and look there. You see how it entrances its prey before it makes its attack. We need to be cautious. I want to hunt as much as anyone. I just think eyes open, going in, this is going to be a difficult fight. That we should prepare ourselves.
So let's make sure we have some interesting terrain too for this battle. So right now, um, we'll say that there are some small trees around that are growing almost like broken hands out of the ground. They don't have a lot of leaves or anything. Um, the ham cows have trampled a lot of the area, but there are kind of groupings of them around, and there is a nearby um, small pond of stagnant standing water that these ham cows are dealing with. So you have some opportunities there, perhaps, if you wish to utilize the terrain to your
How about
benefit.
I could stand near the edge of the water and allow it to attempt to attack me, and then you could spring out from the sides and try to kill it
Do we
while
have
it was
anything like
distracted.
ranged weapons at this point, or is it all like hand to hand? I don't
I
think we've
th-
discussed that really, so
yeah, I think most of the weaponry in here is hand to hand.
okay.
Um, that said, you are probably like you would have spears,
Sure.
certainly that you could throw from a distance. And I don't think that bows and arrows are particularly um high tech.
Okay.
I'm just looking through here. You know what? They're not covered, but I feel like you probably have something ranged.
So Lord Immerfell, you propose that you act as a decoy of sorts, a prey, and then we come in and attack it.
Yeah, because I could always flee into the water.
Hmm. I'm
I'm
amenable to that. Just be
agreed.
careful of its horns.
Nothing can harm me while I'm under the protection of my Lord Venetrix.
Hmm, I see.
All right, we'll get in position then.
Okay. And I will look and see on its stats. You gather around it. You're you're kind of doing like what is that? Odysseus, the one that hid behind the under the lambs or whatever. Yeah, using
Mm,
these ham cows as a distraction. And Imrafel, I'd like you to make a will will check there.
No, it's another fail.
Okay. It takes you a bit of time to get this thing to notice you, and it starts to gather its way. It's kind of pulling itself along the ground. You can see underneath it that it's dripping like parts of these ham cows that it has killed, but it is looking at you with its eyes kind of side to side like this, getting an idea of what you're doing. Um, it's not quite like in the perfect trap position. What do you do?
I guess I'll just walk up to it. How big is it in relation to me?
Um, it's much bigger. So these ham cows are, think of like the size of so a ham cow is probably two people, right? Kind of like cows are for
Mhm.
us, like a little bigger. And you're 9 feet tall. This thing can eat about 3 ham cows at a time. So
Okay.
yeah,
It's
like
pretty big.
it's quite big, and you could go under it, you think, but based on the sizzling you're seeing from beneath it, there's there's acid that it's digesting these things with. Like there's probably a mouth on its undercarriage.
Well, I will try to pray for it to come into the right position.
Okay. Okay. Uh Go ahead and give, do you have any light dice?
I don't think so.
Okay. In that
Oh,
case,
did
I
I get
think you
one from
might
performing
have.
the miracle?
I think so, yeah.
I did, yeah.
I would say then that as you start to pray, it starts to come forward to you, and we will enter uh, combat proper. There's something about you that it seems entranced by. And the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to roll some dice and just randomly be picking up. It will go first. So it is coming towards Imrafel, and it starts to rub its horns here. Imrafel, go ahead and make a will check for me.
Hmm. All right, that I got a 1 on.
Okay, that is a success critically. It's always a success. So its turn is wasted there, trying to get a hold, and one of you can go. I'm not going to specify which one, but one of you can go.
I
In other
will
words,
spend my
yeah.
turn charging up
Okay.
using so I'm using both actions to charge my weapon. Once again, same trick, raising it in the air.
Okay. I like it. In that case, another one of you may go.
Balthor
Yep.
sounded like you wanted to do something. Go ahead.
I didn't really. I was gonna ask. Do you have that like light die cheat sheet or whatever? Because I don't know where that is.
Yes, it is up a little bit in the chat, I
Okay, then
think.
I'll just scroll up and find it. It's all good.
I could be wrong. I'm probably wrong. So basically, a light die, I'll explain it now because it's useful. You can spin that to augment your body. So you can't cast a fireball, but you could make your body super hot. Um,
Hmm.
and that would last for either like so many minutes based on the die roll or do so much die roll damage. It uses d6 for um,
Hmm.
most of those. And paste. So yes, you can spend light die to basically make something up that you're able to do.
Hmm. Okay, great. Okay, perfect. I don't know if I need to spend a light die for this, but you tell me. I mean, this thing's
Mhm.
huge, like a millipede. Like,
Yep.
I'd like to get up on top of it.
Okay. Um, Yeah, I would say if you want to roll a light die, you can just how would you augment your body, I guess, to do that? Like,
If it's super high, maybe it's like I somehow like increase my like muscle mass to like get that jump, like that
I like it.
huge.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, if you're spinning a light die, you can absolutely just leap on there. Go ahead and roll a d6.
D6 and a D20 or just a
Just a
D6?
d6. This will tell you how long it'll last.
4.
All right. You have super jump powers. Your legs get like bulked up. You have that for 4 rounds or minutes?
Excellent.
Minutes? A turn. I'm gonna say turns there. You've got
Fine by
four
me.
4 rounds of super jump. But yeah, with that, you were able to land on its back. And it definitely recognizes you are doing this, but it's not doing anything. One of you can go.
Okay. I would like to pick up, or not pick up, but like take a spear and just chuck it at it.
Okay, yeah. Roll a d6, we'll say.
Okay. 5.
Oh, okay. Takes 5 damage as the spear sticks into its side and just hangs there. Um, it doesn't like that,
Yeah,
shockingly.
probably not.
Um, it is going to turn towards Marceline
Mhm.
and charges forward, just a rampaging beast. Valthros, you're staying on its back, and it is going to do 2 damage to Marceline. Armor
Alrighty.
negates damage there,
I
and then
know I
make a
have
yeah.
some. I have a chest piece. Oh, it's 1 armor. Okay. So
Okay,
you said
perfect.
2?
Yep.
All
So
right.
1 total damage, but it does knock you down to the ground as it charges past,
Mm-hmm.
just kind of knocking knocking ham cows to the left and right as it goes. And then Imrafel, I believe you are the last one of the round.
I will go between Marceline and the beast and attempt to slash the beast with my sword.
Okay, go ahead and roll damage.
And that's blood metal sword.
Yes,
So,
should really have multiple pages of this open at once.
what was the damage for that again? Oh, wait.
It's
Say
either a
D6.
D6 or a
One,
Yeah,
yeah,
D4.
D6,
yeah.
D6.
D6 seems to be the common one for this one.
Oh, 6.
All right,
Good hit.
nice. A palpable hit. As you slash into this creature. And it doesn't particularly care for that. As we begin the next round, it is taking its action first, and it is going to thrash around. Um, at this point, it is by Marceline and Imrafel. Uh, both of you go ahead and take 5 damage. It is just
Oof.
starts slamming around the ground. You see it's raising dust into the air from there. A cow just a ham cow just gets knocked down and squealing off to the side.
Aw.
So that's just equal to my hit points is just equal to my strength, right?
Right, your strength is your hit points. If you had hit points from marshaling, you take those off first. So those are like a extra level of protective armor. But yes,
Uh,
otherwise, and if you go down to your strength, that's wound time. That's your critical traumas that we start doing.
If I'm sorry, if you go down to what?
Your if you go down to 0
Okay,
strength,
gotcha,
yeah,
gotcha.
0 current strength. And then it is one of you's turns.
I shall walk forward and strike with a meteor downward hit.
All right.
I hit because
Yeah, you hit. Yeah,
all
you
right.
hit. Roll damage.
I get to roll 3d6 for this one.
Nice.
Ooh.
11.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Whoa! Bam.
Yeah, where do you end up hitting this thing with this slam?
I want to hit its like fancy horn things.
Mhm.
All right. Yeah, are you trying to destroy them or just like like that's where you end up hitting? Does that make sense?
Destroy.
All right. Yeah, you smash into its horn and it shatters onto the ground and
No more.
it it tosses its head around and then tramples you.
Okay,
So
bring it on.
all right. Take 3 damage as it just stampedes over you.
Light work, no reaction, 0 damage.
And then
Mm.
it has trampled you. You can feel it over you. And you
Oh,
look up and you see this maw opening up and acid starts to drip. Take 4 acid damage.
all right. I'm assuming that goes through armor.
That'll start,
All right.
well, let's say it starts eating away at your armor.
Okay,
How's that strike you?
sounds good.
So, yeah, you can decide. I'll let you decide how much goes through to HP and how much gets eaten by armor that you can use for later. I think that is up to you.
Let's
But
say it just melts away the helmet.
okay. All
Yeah, I
right.
think that's good to know.
I like that. I like that. Yeah, so your face is like you can see the helmet being eaten away from Ulrich. One of you can go.
I'll go. I guess I'm on top of it.
Absolutely.
Great. So I'm gonna make my way towards its head, um, like down its millipede body,
Yep.
and
Yep.
like grabbing onto the stump of the horn. I'm gonna raise the hammer and just start cracking into its like skull area right between its eyes.
Absolutely. Go ahead and roll your damage.
I don't know if we've ever determined what's a hammer. We did last time, and I didn't write it down.
Hammer.
Damn
Probably a D6. That seems to be my default value.
it. For me. Ooh, that's 6 straight up.
Okay,
Oh yeah.
6. Yeah, that's great. That is exactly what you want. Is you are just slamming this you are hitting it on the head. I will say you managed to crack, like you can see it's got this kind of like protective skull. You can see a crack going through it at this point. If you keep doing damage to this, you might crack its head clean, which would destroy the helmet, but probably hurt it quite a bit. Um, Imrafel or Marceline, what are you doing?
I had a question, and I'm sorry if this
Yeah,
if we can't figure it out, I'll just worry about it for the next time. Because I think I wrote it down, but I can't find where I wrote it down. So I have this obsidian dagger that does a D4, but I can do something with
Mm.
it where it like shatters off inside of the enemy, and then it
yes.
does a different amount of damage. And I did not capture that.
Oh boy, I sure wish I remember what
We
I
can we
said.
can if you we can get into that, at later
No,
if you want.
I
I don't
like
want to.
that. Do we want to just double damage? Does that make
Okay,
sense?
sure.
Yeah, let's do
So
double
yeah, I'll
damage.
take out my, I've been using this blood sword, but I
Mhm.
keep this really ornate dagger at my hip, and I'll take it out and just plunge it into its face.
Eyes are
That's
clacking
double
around.
damage.
Double damage.
All right. 6.
Oh, very nice. You guys are just wailing into this thing. It's it's bloodied if we're going by whatever version of D&D that was. As yeah,
Oh my.
what's it look like as you snap this blade off in it?
Ooh. I think that, yeah, I plunge it deep into its forehead and I give a little twist, and the crystal inside kind of expands. So you kind of see this like
Ooh,
bulging out as like these obsidian shards just kind of bulge out of its skull.
ooh, I like that. Yeah. Yeah, and it's the whole time here it's just being silent and the most of the noise is it like trampling and it's whipping its
Hmm.
head around. But Imrafel, it is your turn.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna take a stab at the area where it's been split open.
Okay. I like it. Roll damage.
Perfect.
Is it armored? Because my weapon that reduces the armor of the creature.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you broke the thing. What does it reduce it
By
by?
one on a roll of
Okay.
+5.
Okay.
And
Okay.
this is the blood metal axe.
Oh, that's right. You guys have been smacking. All right. I need to keep in mind that it is, in fact, armored, but less armored now. So that is good to know.
And I just got 3 damage.
Okay. So you're stabbing into it, and we'll say this is the part. Like, how do you get it so that you crack its head kind of along the line?
Yeah, I think I sort of stab my sword in and then cut the tendons that are holding the skull together, and it just sort of springs apart like a, sort of spring-loaded mechanism.
Hmm. I like it. Yeah, there's this like as it starts to pool up blood just pouring down its head. And it looks like it will be stunned for its next turn, which is probably a very good thing for you. And we are at the next round, so anybody can take an action.
I think now that I've split its skull, I'm just gonna take the blood and sort of like drink it.
Oh shit. All right.
Mid combat. That's
Mid
incredible.
combat blood
No.
drink. I
That's
like
a
it.
power move, bro. It's
Just
great.
be like, your darkness fears the deep, where my
Um,
god comes from.
I love it. Go ahead and roll me a will test.
8, right on.
Eight
So that's
right
a
on.
pass.
Okay. There is something horrible in its blood. You can feel it reaching out to your mind, but you are able to withstand some. It's trying to send a message to you, but you're withstanding it at the moment.
Hmm.
And then someone else can take their turn.
So I've been knocked to the ground. I'm going to stand
Yep.
up and attack it.
Okay.
D6?
Getting out from under it, I assume.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
3.
All right. Crashing into its side.
Blah.
And this would be its turn, but it is stunned by Imbrafel and Valthros and Marceline all kind of attacking the same chunk of it. So it is one of your turns.
I'll go, I guess. So, just so I know, it's like armored skull is opened, and I can see it's
Yeah,
like.
yeah.
Do I see its brain, or do I just see its like flesh underneath of there?
I'll say flesh. It's almost like this thing has a helmet all of its own that you've cracked through, but
Um,
it's yeah, this thing is strange.
Great. Then, if that's the case, then I'm gonna like change my grip so I'm grabbing one of those armored plates instead of the ruins of the
Mhm.
horn, and just keep going in. Like I just want to keep digging down till I hit
Love it.
brains.
All right. Yeah, roll some damage.
A 3.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you are just smashing into this. Blood is spraying up from that, and it is its turn. Um, you see then Valthros smashing, 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 and a hand just reaches up behind it and tries to grab you, and you take 2 damage as
Mm.
its like hand catches your neck and just is starting to try and choke you out. I will note that is very low damage for what that could do.
Now, I had marshaling hit points. Those go away. I do not get
Those
them back.
you will get them back when you
Oh, okay.
rest.
So
Yep,
my
yep.
max is still
But
max.
they, yeah, they don't count against strength that way.
I see what you're saying.
All right. And then the final action of the round, I believe, Marceline, that is you.
Yeah, I think I'm going to use my claws. I like to think of them as like kind of
Mm,
retractable. So my nice like manicured fingers suddenly become like really horribly awful sharp claws. And I'll just
right.
take a slash across its face.
I like it.
So that's 5 damage. Good lord.
5 damage. All right. That is great. You're slashing, your fingernails are catching on bone as you're
Yep.
going at it. And it's it stands up. So Valthros, you're like very high above the ground at this point, and it is trying. It looks like it's looking at the three that are on the ground, and like it tries rubbing its horn, but it only has the one of them. So the three on the ground, go ahead and make a will save, but at advantage.
Ooh.
Thumbs up. Got one.
I
And
went from
Imrafel.
20 to 1, and I'm like,
Oh,
what the
that's
fuck?
good. Yeah.
Oh.
And Imrafel, you succeeded.
Yeah, I got 2.
Sweet. Yeah, you're able to turn your eyes from the hypnotic feel, and it is one of yours turns.
I shall spend another 2 dexterity to charge my meteor axe again.
All right. All right. Then one of you takes a turn. It will be all four of you, so you can
Mhm.
go in whatever order you so desire.
I'll go. Why not? I'm up there holding on with one hand now, and I'm like, my lords. I'm feeling rejuvenated by this craziness, but I mean, it's once again just right into the soft skull of it.
Just
Uh,
bashing away.
that is another 6. I'll take it.
Nice.
Oh
I
my
like the
goodness.
D6 here.
Yeah, and you are slowly feeling like you're hitting and hitting, and the first one was like on bone, and you're just feeling it shatter beneath this hammer of yours, bit by bit. In that case, Imrafel or Marceline.
Take another slash. Like just do a bam bam double hit.
Yeah, I like it.
4.
All right.
Oh, great.
Are you, so this thing is kind of reared up now. Where are you slashing at it as you're
Maybe like
going
its
there?
throat area if it's kind of like pulled up a bit.
It's probably too high to get up
Okay.
here. Like it's kind of on its 6 legs there, and you can
Oh,
see
okay.
the teeth at the bottom.
Maybe on its like side then.
Yeah,
Just wherever I can reach.
that makes sense. You're going off to the side, and then Imrafel. It looks like it is you and Ulrich kind of in front of this at the moment. Ulrich is charging.
So its mouth is like open, right?
Uh, yes, its bottom mouth, its maw is open.
Could I like jump in the mouth and attempt to
Yes.
like cut out his inside, cut myself out from the inside?
You absolutely can. You know it's acidic, but I love this idea.
I have the protection around me.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and dive on in. Um, I'll give you an extra D4 for that if you're jumping in there.
Perfect. All right, so 6 total.
All
Nice.
right. Yeah, and you're just slashing away inside this thing. Take a D4 of acidic damage as you're feeling this begin to burn through you.
Oh, only one. Thank God.
Okay.
Nice.
Only in the mouth of evil can you truly experience the blessings of
Yeah.
Venatrix.
Well, and Ulrich is going to be real happy you just did this because there is a wave of just wretched stomach acid that pours out against Imrafel. Go ahead and roll a d20 for me.
Oh no.
That's going to be quite painful. Actually, I only got a 5 on my d20. I don't know if
Okay.
that's good or bad.
It's not great, as
Yeah.
this is a roll a fatal injury. If you have
Ooh.
armor there, it is broken. So you feel this wash of this acid hit you, and it throws you out of the mouth, and you land on the ground, and you feel a snap as your back is broken. Lose
Oh,
2 strength permanently.
oh.
Well, that's not that bad for a back being broken.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
I can still fight.
I'm doing great. But you prevented Ulrich from having to, like, you took that entire hit. Uh,
I
where,
don't care about Ulrich.
well, you know, in that case, whatever. All right. It looks like it will be one of you going.
Luck would have it.
All right, it is up to you guys.
Baseball swing right into the thing, fully charged.
All right.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah. 3d6.
All
Another
right.
11.
11. Oh,
Sick. It's huge.
that is huge. This thing is wavering as Ulrich just plants this axe into its side. Um, Go ahead and someone else take a turn. We'll see if it gets to its final action.
I'll go, I guess. Why
Yeah.
not? You know what I'm doing. Like, my lords, this foul beast will fall before our might.
Smash, smash.
A 5. Man, this D6 is hot, baby.
Okay. In that case, it's like you feel finally the axe is in its, like, in something. Yeah, you feel that crunch, the liquid splashes out, and it's silently, like, trying to scrabble at you, but it's not quite dead. Who's taking, so Imrafel or Marceline?
Oh,
Who's
I'll go
going
take a
next?
bite at it. I've got fangs.
Okay. Go ahead
My
and
fangs
roll
actually
that
do the same amount of
damage.
damage as my claws.
Flavor fangs.
Drink
Flavor
its
fangs.
blood while you're there.
Do 6.
6. How do you end up killing this creature?
Hmm. Good question. Um, it's so big. I can't like. Okay, yeah. I just, I have my claws like sunk into it, and I open my like. So Marceline has, I've said before that she's a very beautiful
Mhm.
visage, but like when the fangs come out, she becomes like a twisted, grotesque, almost like harpy-ish. Like the beauty fades away, and it's this like terrible ugliness to behold. And she sinks her teeth in, and she just drinks from it, and the blood is like flowing down her chin as she just greedily, sups from this terrible monster.
All right. Go ahead and roll a
Nice.
will save as you are. Yeah, you see this thing falls to its side, and Marceline is crushing into it. And Imrafel, it's a very same sensation that Imrafel felt,
Hmm.
where there's a message that is trying to get through, but you are, like, you're drinking deeply, and it's almost like this darkness that surrounds, I mean, the world here. Just, you hear it so clearly out of the blood. You don't belong here. But yeah, this is pouring down. Like, I assume at this point Marceline's just covered in
Yeah.
blood, and this creature is writhing on the ground before it falls still.
Yes. Yes.
The
Monster
hunt.
hunted. Carve it up.
How's uh how's
I want that
Imrafel feel?
horn there.
I mean, my back is broken,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I
So
think my
Your
I think
career's
my
over.
exactly. I think my heir probably just walks over to me and
Stabs you in the throat. Mhm.
honestly,
Do
why
it.
not?
Do
Why
it.
not?
Do it. Yeah.
I think yeah, Emrafel will just like be completely paralyzed and she will take the sword and tell the biographer, look away.
Oh.
Don't put this in the biography.
Oh,
All right. Uh I like that as Delilah executes her her king there. She feels that rush of power flow into her. Um and I think this is a good time to ask, what heirloom does she take from Imrafel's body?
fidget spinner.
Her base of her skin, her face.
His head, yeah, she's
Yeah.
gonna take his head and add it to Venetrix as the 10th gear.
Ooh. Oh, I like that a lot. So mechanically, that is now an heirloom that you can use for a D6 on something. So we'll think about what that is. But yeah, you rip off the head. It's very Kratos and God of War feeling is you
Wow.
have previous. How do the others feel about this? Seeing Delilah just walk up and execute. I mean, Imrafel was clearly hurt, but
Right. You know, I perceive a threat now because already Delilah was kind of, making moves in my kingdom. So this is a perceived threat. But I'll, congratulate, long live the queen. May your reign be wondrous, Lady Delilah.
I respect the hustle, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Valtheros just grimly nods like this is the way of things.
Hmm.
All is as it should be.
He died in honorably in combat. He fought well, let's say that, because he didn't die honorably. You killed him. He fought well. Your father was a great warrior.
I think Delilah will just chitter with laughter underneath her horrible cloak.
Hmm.
yeah, and you're
Yes.
I like it. And you are looking, well, maybe we'll cut out on Imrafel's blank eyes, just staring out. Yeah. As you start to divvy out the body, I have put in chat the goods that you have. You do have a couple of crawler leathers. Those are still good. You have some leather pads that you can make out. The spiral sleeves. Oh, actually, that's probably their arm, I suppose. So yeah,
Mm.
you probably still have the sleeves. I'll amend that. That said, the helmet has been completely shattered.
Mm.
So you probably would take
Oh.
the greased lamp stick that you could steal from that.
Hmm.
Yeah, is anybody feeling a particular
Yeah,
uh
Delilah is taking the lampstick.
very good. There's two
Mhm.
of them, in fact.
Hmm.
Okay, so you said the helmet's gone. That's fair.
Yep.
I'll take the leather pads.
Spiral sleeves.
Yep.
Is it weird that I don't want any of this? Like,
Nope.
yeah, I don't, it's all greasy and slimy,
I
and that's not
know.
my
Burn
vibe.
it.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, this thing fed on these ham cows, so it probably
Yeah.
smells a little bit
Lord
like,
Valthros, if you send whatever you send to the universities, we have a class in like fashion, I guess is the nicest way to put it. But we can make it suitable for a lord.
Take it if you wish. I care nothing for these
Very well.
bobs and greasy trinkets. The reward It was the victory we fought and won this day. True.
Wise words, Lord Valthros.
Ah, yes.
For
Thank you,
only the
Lady Delilah, was it?
indeed.
Mm, indeed. Indeed.
Right. And let's cut out for that since we're running running into time a little bit, and let's do our life steps here to wrap up this particular bit. So what that means is you're going to age up every named character along the 5 life stages that you have. Make sure you do that not just for your characters, but anybody else that's hanging around your kingdom. I'm looking particularly at Sarat and Marith
Mhm.
because, they will get old and die. Such
So
is
are we
life.
all elders at this point then?
I believe so. Yes, you started out
Not
as
me,
young
baby.
adults.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. But
you're a
so we
young
lose
adult now, right?
the rest of us lose a D4 in every
Every
stat.
stat. Yep.
Yeah, I was only a child when I decapitated my father.
Oh, you're a young adult now? Nice.
Perfect.
That's very cool.
Life
All right.
stage. Elder.
Oh no, I'm just becoming more like stone. I lost 4 decks.
Oh, Jesus.
A D4 in every stat, Jesus.
And we can attempt to breed. I think this is probably the last chance,
Yes,
right?
let's do
Yeah.
that. Yeah, let's do that now. If you've got that, that will be a D6.
I will attempt.
All right.
Could I do that going from child to young adult, or is it only after
No.
young adult?
Yep,
Yeah.
it's a young adult on. Yep.
Oh, I got 6.
Ooh.
All right, twins.
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 Hey.
A bountiful year to the 2 people that don't normally go that way. So you have new heirs, whether that means just new
Right.
people infected, whether yeah, maybe a little different than taking a, a wife or husband, whatever floats your boat.
And you said there was a way that you had done the stats of it all, and I'm trying to remember.
Yes, that is when you do that, they're technically averaged between parents, but since you don't really have a parent, just roll 2d4s, subtract the second d4 from the first. So that number, negative or positive, is added on to the stat, and you do that for all of your
Is
stats.
this before we grow old? Because like it
Yeah,
doesn't make
yeah,
sense.
do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, do it before you lose your stats. That's a good point. Yeah. Otherwise, that
Like
would be a
that
real
doesn't make
bummer.
sense.
Mhm. So I'm rolling a D6 for childbirth then, right?
Yes, yes.
I rolled a 4, which is just regular.
Regular success.
Great.
All right. You can feel free if you. Is there anything interesting with any of these heirs? Balthros, I guess for you, is this with Genevieve?
Oh yeah, absolutely. This is with Genevieve. I would never in a billion years sire an heir with anybody that's of low born. Like, are you kidding me? No, that's not gonna.
So in
Um,
that case, Marceline, if you have Genevieve's stats,
I
you
do.
can. Okay, yeah, you can actually average. This is the first time we'll do this since we have
Mhm.
kind of named people. Um, we'll go back through those and write down exactly what they are because we can do that offline.
Right, right.
Um, that said, go ahead and you have genetic traits that are being passed down here.
okay.
So you've basically got a roll twice to sort which traits your offspring will inherit. So, what is the first genetic trait that Genevieve and Valthros have? This is not the bloodline. This is the genetic or the yeah, just the
Oh,
I
trait.
I
have
don't think we did this last time. Like I didn't realize you have to roll to see if they get the blood traits. So I probably should do that really quickly for
I
Genevieve.
think the blood trait you just always get.
Okay.
It is
Well, I
the
mean the
other
genetic trait. I
trait.
meant the
Yeah.
genetic trait though.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
like so I should figure
Uh,
out if she got my genetic traits. What do you do with that? Like how
roll
do
a
you
d30. I mean, she's gonna get them. It's kind of odd that way. Is technically you split them with the other parent and decide,
right?
but you're
So if
your
I've rolled a
vampiric
d30, I rolled a
stuff.
6. Does that mean she would have gotten my genetic traits or?
Oh, she gets your genetic
Oh,
traits.
okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the first genetic trait from Genevieve is agrysomnia,
Okay. Where she
The
never
no
sleeps.
sleeping.
no
Yeah.
sleeping.
Oh my God.
And Valthros, what is yours?
My first genetic was exothermic organs, the ones that explode.
Explode on
right.
death. Jeez.
All right. In that case, let's do heads for Marceline and tails for Valthros. Valthros, go ahead and flip a coin.
I'll do odds are me, evens are
That makes more sense for rolling die. Yeah, I
Yeah.
could have said that.
I'm sorry, evens. I got evens, right?
Yes.
What did I
Yep.
say? What did I just
Oh.
say? Evens or
I thought
me?
you said odds was you and
Yeah.
Genevieve was even.
That's
Then
what
I
I heard
get
too.
Genevieve. Sorry, my brain has
all
just
good.
Yeah.
gone because
Yep.
I'm like, this is crazy. Great. So I have a child that can never ever sleep.
Yep.
That's gonna go over great.
Yeah, those baby years are going to be tough.
They're gonna
And
be
then,
great. Well, I have
Yeah,
people
do
to
that
raise.
again for the second trait as well. What are the
Blood
secondary
nose.
traits? Blood nose and
I have ambidextrous.
okay. Go ahead and roll the same thing. Odds are you, evens are Mars. Genevieve rather.
Odds again.
Okay. In that
All
case,
right.
yeah. Wait, isn't that you?
Or no, odds for the first time.
That's you.
Yeah, that's you.
I get me.
Yeah, yeah.
Then they get
I have
ambidexterity.
I have an ambidextrous, unsleeping child. Great.
Wonderful, wonderful. Okay. In that case, I think that's their main things as people come in and they want to bring in heirs. We can kind of walk
Right.
through that.
Mhm.
But yeah, go ahead and choose a downtime for your stuff. Remember that those are the cultural, familial, martial, rulership, or exploration.
And does it reset? Can we pick the same one we picked last
Yep.
time if we want?
You absolutely can.
Aside from, is there anything that you get from these, or is it mostly just
Yes.
like okay.
So the cultural is going to give
That's
you
right.
D4
Okay.
favor, which is mostly used with the gods, I believe. Familial will get another offspring. Martial gets you HP if you can get it, and rulership is power. There, an exploration does what it says on the tin, as they say. It lets
Gotcha.
you look into an encounter.
Mhm.
Additionally, obviously, each of those has random events that are
Mhm.
somewhat related.
I think I'll go with cultural, just to kind
Okay.
of keep developing Laval as a hub of, culture and society.
All right. You will get a D4 favor. So, what I'll say is go ahead and do that. That'll, you don't really have a religion at this point. So just mark
No.
down favor there. But we can say that's with the academy. Like, I
Sure.
think
Yeah.
that makes sense. And then roll a D8.
Actually, I was thinking of kind of developing maybe a religion anyway. So 5. So what is the D8? Sorry,
Oh,
what's that value for?
this is going to be the cultural event.
Okay.
So, from you in this case, normally that would be a message from God.
Right.
This might be a message through the art. The academy is coming through.
Okay.
Roll
That's
a
really
D4.
3.
All right. The this is go on a pilgrimage to an obscure hex.
Interesting.
Oh.
So yeah, they are going to be asking you to do this to succeed for if you succeed, you get a bunch of favor.
Okay.
But in this case, let's see, where do you think your pilgrimage would go? Um, oh, this is always fun. I will say that the art, maybe you sense a message in there
Mhm.
that there is a location deep within the woods
Okay.
that is that has been found to be important. Like you're getting I'm kind of imagining a lot of art showing this kind of wooded area that
Yeah. I
the
like that.
artist
Yeah.
can't explain, right? As it's just showing up. And
Mhm.
it almost seems like some old ruins that are there.
Okay. I like that.
And Yeah, we'll leave that there. I guess yeah, let's role play that a little is what does Marceline do with this information?
Um, I think I would I think I would take this pilgrimage. I would take my finest artists and the second heir I've created, which is a young adult. Her name is Vivian, and I'll take
Mhm.
her with me because not Marceline, Genevieve has gone to another household now. She's no longer really my heir. So I'm
Oh no, no,
taking
you can have her
Vivian.
back if you want. Like I didn't want to take your air. Like you can have her back. Her
Oh, I
purpose
thought
is
this was a marriage, which is fine with me.
Yeah.
I just thought you guys were getting married or
oh no,
something.
no,
So
yeah, but like key to
I see
successful
what you're saying.
marriage,
Yeah, yeah.
separate houses.
I got you. I got you.
Yeah.
Just as God intended. I will take both of them then. I'll take Genevieve and Vivian
Okay.
and my finest artists, and we'll see what the muses are granting us.
All right. Um, boy, this is an interesting one of what does that look like in terms of I don't want to have you do a full session of what does it look like to go to this
Right.
obscure hex. Let's say you are heading out that way. Do you feel okay doing that as a single roll to see how well that goes?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
What's like
yeah,
20 or
yeah. Let's do a d20 and compare it just against I think strength. That's kind of your
right?
fortitude to make it through there.
Yeah, it's a success.
Okay. In that case, you do manage. You will get 5 favor.
Okay.
This could have gone very poorly as you go through these dark woods. Um, you end up at this location in this hex. It's about, 12 miles, so there's a large area you end up having to search for. You find these ruins of an old building, and it's circular in shape and has a sort of at one point it might have been like a domed sort of structure
Hmm.
and you see more of this like blood metal. There is a large tube that has been cast into pieces on the ground there. Um, looking at it as well, it appears that there are a number of these Yuna there, and they all kind of look like Craig, right? You're realizing that amongst them there is they're all very genetically similar.
Hmm.
Um, and they're oh, we were afraid you would not see our message.
Tell me, what is this?
The light, a temple to the light, once now gone out.
Where?
The light from they
Yeah.
gesture kind
Yes.
of to the treetops.
And are they talking about this temple, or am I getting the sense that they're talking
Th-
about a temple somewhere?
this temple, yeah, this here
Okay.
was a temple to the light.
I see. I see.
The elders sought a source, perhaps.
Okay. So it's this like kind of old crumbling temple.
Yeah, this kind of dome shape in the middle of the woods with
Mm-hmm.
the tubes, and yeah, they're telling you that this was at one point a temple to the light
Right.
to look for its origins, and the unit here don't really seem to have a good grasp on this, right? Like this
Right.
is handed down through the ages.
Sure. 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 Hmm. Um. Okay. I think I would like to like build up this temple, revitalize it. Like maybe
Okay,
send out some masons to kind of, yeah,
I
breathe
like
some new
that.
life back into this temple.
Mhm.
And yeah, I think that's what we'll do.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. Get that 5 favor because you have
Cool.
succeeded on your
Yeah,
pilgrimage here. And I will mark a hex later with our
sure.
our bit. I left the whiteboard up for way too long last time, so This time, I learned my lesson of we won't be doing that quite as much. I will choose a hex out here, and you will have a new temple that you will start to build up.
All right. I like it.
All right. Let's say who else? Who wants to take a downtime action next?
I shall rule.
All right, ruler it. D4 power.
D4 power. All right. 3.
3
Nice.
power. Very nice. So you garner prestige and respect. 3 power, and then roll a D8.
Okay. 7. Oh, I got the same thing as last time.
Do you want to do
I'll
another deal
re-roll.
or okay?
All right. That is a 2.
Okay. Oh, all right. A masterwork piece is crafted for you.
Oh man.
Increase a
Ooh.
weapon's damage by 1. The bonus is lost if it is destroyed or taken apart.
All right. I will make the meteor axe a masterwork weapon.
I like it.
So
What's
now it
that?
does a D8 instead of D6.
Yeah, what does that look like
It
for you?
is so it's like it depicts the galaxies above and this one single comet coming into the world we currently stay on. And in that comet
Oh.
is Ulrich carved on the blade of this axe.
Oh, that's cool. So
It's
there's like a
sick,
very
man.
intricate
Yes.
engraving here. Yeah, I love that. Like made in the blood metal. Very cool. And yeah, the people that present it to you are your finest people. There's actually you're finding that Valthros's people are very adept at building. Or this is something that if you've infected people that used to work for there, maybe there are some that escaped to Australia.
Mm.
Some of the people that you've gotten from there are refugees basically from that area. And yes, they're very adept.
Very nice. I'm very happy with this masterwork weapon.
Hold it aloft, and we will go to another downtime activity. Valthros or I suppose Delilah. Who wants to go next?
I'll go, I guess.
Sure,
Well, I'm not sure exactly what I want to do. I think I'm going to choose rulership for this one.
I like it.
It's getting to be that time I can feel my body, and I need to make sure everything's squared away for my inevitable return in 10,000 years, whatever.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Before you go back in your
into the
cryo chamber.
tomb, yeah, or whatever it is. Uh, Great. So yeah,
D4 power. Yep.
D4 power, you got
D4
it.
power.
Well, that's 4, baby. Oh yeah.
Got power for days.
I thought my rolls initially were pretty crap this time. So but then they got like significantly better. I'll take it.
Yeah, nice. And then you roll a D8.
Where that is an 8.
All
Oh,
right.
damn.
Oh, that is great for you. A fever of colonization pushes your people outward. Build a settlement on any unowned hex within 10 hexes of your borders, which is substantial.
That is pretty far. I'll think about where I want to
Yeah,
go
yeah,
if they want to be on the mainland or if I want to consolidate.
very cool.
Very cool. I'd
Yeah.
also like real quick to point out that I've also installed aqueducts that pour water into my throne room, and the screaming fish are in there
Oh, that's
24/7.
horrible. All right.
Not good.
Um, I like the idea too that that's partially to drown out the whispering that you keep
Ooh,
hearing from the walls of your castle.
I love it.
So now you
And I
have toenail rippings, like
Yeah, and
anguished
I keep
screams.
my unsleeping offspring in that room at all times. So there's never a moment when they don't hear the sounds of a man's toenails being ripped out. Uh, Good. It was good for the psyche. It's
Hmm,
great.
hmm. I like that you guys are going to have to play the people that you're messing with.
Tormenting.
So yeah, like your next character is gonna be very interesting.
Oh yeah.
All right, in that case, let's jump to Delilah.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the cultural expedition or the
All
cultural
right.
thing.
All right, bask in the light of your lord. Gain a D4 of favor.
3.
All right, very nice. 3 favor with your god. And then roll a D8.
D8.
Yes.
6.
6. Oh, your neighbors assimilate into your culture. A neighboring hex under another's control becomes yours. So a couple of you basically get a new settlement here.
Mhm.
And we can hash out exactly which one that looks like. But why do you think they join up with Delilah now?
Well, I mean, things have been going well for the.
Oh,
My thing ran out of battery. Can you guys still hear me?
Yes.
yeah, we can still
Yes.
hear you. You're a little faint though.
Okay, now it should be good.
Yeah, there you go.
Um, things have been going well for the. I mean, we've been getting like a ton of signs of God around. So
Yeah.
I think that the introduction of the 10th member of the Venetrix Collective
Hmm.
sort of ushered in a newer era um, that was more accepting. It's more of like a cult like instead of a strict religion. So we're love bombing a neighboring
Ooh,
hex. We're love bombing them, and once they get in, then
yeah.
they can start, ripping their own flesh off.
I like that a
Right.
lot. Yes, things you've got some leaders that they're coming to you and they are presenting this like, oh, well, your father was very intimidating and we feel much more welcome here. And did you add another spoke or is it like dead center? Like where's this head on there?
It's definitely another spoke because
Yeah.
Mhm.
um, she didn't like him that much. And also, I think we're now sort of like definitely identifying with the oppressed of
Hmm.
different societies, especially of bourgeois societies like Marceline's.
I like it. So yeah, like what's a big change that Delilah has then made to your temple beyond just adding that spoke? How is she making it her own?
Hmm. I think she's added more elements of this flower because the flower was the thing
Mm,
that sort of spurred the journey that killed her father. So there's definitely like more floral decorations, and it's becoming much more beautiful and less of a cold dungeon sort of environment.
I like that a lot. As
And
you're changing this.
and I also think that she's bringing in like horrible sick people
Hmm.
and like deformed people and
Yep.
all the oppressed of society are being brought into the temple.
I like that. I like that a lot. All right. Very cool. In that case, we will continue with this. Any monuments or mercantile districts that you control generate power. So in that case, Ulrich, you have, I think, both, don't you? Have you made a
That's
monument
correct.
yet?
Yep.
Yes. So you're
I'm
getting
playing the long
the
game.
cowards power.
That's okay.
Um, remember that those that were involved in the fight get, I believe, 5 power. No, 10 power
Whoa.
to your coffers of hubris. The last person to finish the beast grabs an additional 5. Wonder if that's supposed to be 10 per person. I'll still go with that. It's not clear to me. Um, but yeah, let's talk about then how you are spending that power.
I'm gonna do a religious district.
Okay. I think for 2 of you, you will need to get another settlement first.
Mhm.
Yeah, I need another settlement because I used my current settlement for the
Oh,
mercantile
okay.
district,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna build a settlement.
We all then we all have to, right? Like
Yeah.
all of these
Um,
things take over a
both,
settlement?
yeah,
Well,
both Valthros and
some of you
Delilah got
got
one. Yeah.
settlements, so you
Yeah.
can probably just turn that into
Okay.
Yeah.
whatever district you want.
Okay, so then I'll need to make a settlement then.
Okay.
Here's a question then. It says once per turn, so like, or once per
For life
life
step.
step or
Yeah.
whatever. So if I wanted to say turn my existing settlement into something, that would then prevent me from building another settlement.
Correct. Yep.
Gotcha. I'm gonna build a settlement though.
Okay.
So that puts me at 3.
Yep. And that'll be adjacent to one of your spots, but you have a little bit more reach of where that ends up now.
Exactly. Yep.
So I'll have you guys just send me on the map where you want that to be so that we're conscious of time. Um, does anybody that did not make a monument wish to make one?
I will. I'll make a
Okay.
monument.
Could
What
I?
is?
Oh,
Yeah,
I
go
was
ahead.
just gonna say, could I make a new monument because I'm a new dude?
You absolutely can.
So yeah, I'll make a new one.
All right. What is Marceline's monument look like?
Um, hmm, good question.
Well,
It doesn't have to be us, right?
no, no, it can be a monument of any
I'm
kind.
thinking of
Yep.
I'm thinking of this like kind of statue of like multiple people and like one person's like reading a book and one person's like painting. It's like a
Yeah.
visualization of like the arts and the like the creativity and the society of this of Laval. So like multiple people and they're all doing
Yeah.
something like reading a book, painting a picture, sculpting.
I like this
There's like
kind of
fountains
a.
of water. It's like a water feature. There's like water
Oh,
coming
that's
out of it.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably like at the center of the academy
Yeah.
is it's
Yeah.
yes, this beautiful. It's probably pretty creepy in the torchlight seeing
Yeah.
these figures move
Yeah.
there with the water there, but yes, it's definitely got to be inscribed like by the patronage of Marceline. So you'll have something for years.
It'll say carved into the base achievement through excellence.
Ooh, I like that a lot. It's a good fainting spot for your anemic follower. All right, and then Delilah. How about you?
Um. So when I see this workshop district,
Mhm.
what exactly does harvesting the resources do?
Uh, that is something that we would work out. So you ran into a few of the resources uh, today because you were in the Silent Shrubland. So if you wanted to start harvesting the repetitious roots or the dark roots, those are options for you. Or the ham cows, like we work out fictionally what exactly that looks like.
Okay, I see. Well, I'm not interested in agriculture, so
That's
I
Grozar's
will
bag.
exactly. So I will do a military district.
Ooh. All right. That is going to be training units for war, potentially. Basically,
Yes.
that's going to let you have units should war arise. You can roll over and take over areas. So I like this. Delilah's making this temple much more beautiful, but at the same time, she's mustering forces.
Oh yeah. She's scheming. She's a schemer.
I like it a lot. All right. And are you making a monument?
Yes. Um, I will make a monument of. I'll make a monument in the new area that I've sort of taken under my control that sort of shows a picture, or it's like sort of has a bunch of different people at the bottom that are turning the gear of Venatrix,
Ooh, yep.
and they're holding it up and turning it.
Like it, this new tin-sided Venatrix. It's nice that you let the previous ruler become an honorary apostle. All right.
Least she could do after she chopped his head off.
In that case, I think for this session, we will end with Delilah, the newly crowned ruler of Avalon, watching this statue being like the finishing touches being put on it as the wheel of Venatrix starts to spin and you see the carved head of Imrafel turning, screaming in agony. You can basically see his final moments on the battlefield. And that will be the end for this bit. Thanks for joining us for a It's Alive of Kingdoms. We hope you join us again for the continuing development of these absolutely horrible kingdoms and miserable
What?
places.
These are all great. Like you would want to live in any one of these kingdoms.
Utopias,
Yes.
really.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes. Yes.
Oh, I forgot to do the tech level. So before I say goodbye, tech level time. Guess what, folks? You can write. You can write.
Yay!
Finally, a new age of intellectualism is coming up. Early writing is possible on clay and stone tablets.
Does
So,
that increase our individual tech
yes,
levels?
you are at 2.3.
And
I
some of
was
it, well, some
already,
of us have universities, right? The
yeah, I was already at
academies.
2.3.
Oh, so you guys already had writing. I forgot. In that
So we're
case,
3.3. So no, or
two
2.4.
point. Yeah, you're at 2.4. So now for those at 2.4, locks, keys, and latches become widespread among the populace.
Nice.
I think going back, I might I maybe wanted to understand the tech levels more at the beginning.
Yeah.
I'm imagine, yeah, because my kingdom, I imagine we have all that shit already.
Yeah.
But that's great.
Well, maybe you
It's all
had
good.
some basic stuff, and now the populace is like, yeah, we should
Yeah. Yeah.
take up there.
We can shut our doors and lock them? How
Which
novel.
is maybe worrying for the leaders. This makes conspiracy a lot easier when people can just lock their doors.
If
Sure.
locks weren't completely outlawed in Zelaros, then I would be worried.
I like that. All right.
It's
Well,
like, yep.
yep. So now I'll say officially, have a great time, and we hope you to see you next time for another RPG Reanimators. It's a live actual play of Kingdoms. Bye. Thanks for listening. Be sure to check out the RPG Reanimators podcast for horror scenario reviews, interviews, gaming discussions, and more.